1.5 million people, all dead because of their religion. And yet people to this day still deny this ever happened. This is the Armenian genocide.
Good evening, and welcome to our special edition segment on the Armenian genocide. In order to fully explain the ramifications of this event, we have several experts here to inform us of the events that took place starting in 1915. With me in the studio is local expert Maggie Hall. Maggie?
The Armenians, referred to as the Armeni by many Middle Eastern countries, are a community of people living in the country of Armenia, which is directly to the east of Turkey. Ever since contact with St. Gregory the Illuminator in biblical times, Armenia has been mainly Christian, with the most popular branch of Christianity in the region being the Armenian Apostolic Church, one of the world's oldest national churches. Armenia was the first country to establish Christianity as the official religion. The Armenians have a long history of tension with the Muslims in the surrounding areas, especially the Turks, the most notable example being when they fought on the side of the Europeans during the Crusades. Ever since, the two groups have been at odds.
As a Christian minority in the Ottoman Empire, the Armenians were subject to legal restrictions, including discriminatory taxes and no legal security on their properties. Political and religious tensions increased, with Armenian requests for representation in government, as well as requests for better police protection in Armenian-inhabited provinces from predatory groups among the Kurdish people. In the interest of maintaining traditional Turkish governments and oppressing Armenian reforms, a series of massacres expanded from Istanbul and spread through various Armenian-populated vilayets, causing the deaths of 300,000 Armenians. We go now to our correspondents who are on site in Armenia for more information about the genocide itself.
Thank you, Ben. On April 24, 1915, the Armenian genocides began. The Turkish government rid the Christian Armenians in inhumane ways. They choked them, starved them, pushed them off cliffs, and burned them alive. Other Turks created organizations made up of murderers and ex-convicts such as the killing squads to torture Armenians. In May 1915, other countries told the Turkish leaders that they would be held accountable for this crime against humanity, yet the government continued the mass extermination.
At the center of the Armenian genocide stood the Committee of Union and Progress, or the CUP, a program set by a group of young Turkish revolutionaries who not only wanted to overthrow the government in power, but also wanted to present a complete extermination of non-Muslim enemies. The CUP started by removing all Armenian people from power so that they would have nobody to stand up for them when the mass extermination started. This left Armenians with unfair representations in the court. As Muslim judges were particularly biased against Armenians, the Ottomans killed an estimated 1.5 to 2 million Armenians, approximately 80% of their population.
There was a strong public outcry in the United States against the mistreatment of the Armenians. At the end of the war, the Allies demanded that the Ottoman government prosecute the young Turks accused of wartime crimes. Relief efforts were also mounted to save the starving Armenians. However, no steps were taken to require the post-war Turkish governments to make up for the immense material and human losses of the Armenian people.
Following the genocide, both Ottoman court-martials and British humanitarians sought out those responsible for these crimes. I have with me local expert on the trials, Patrick Nixon.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Now, Patrick, tell me about the Ottoman attempt at finding those responsible.
In 1919, domestic Turkish court-martials of Ittihadist leaders were ordered. Over 100 Turkish officials were arrested. The first verdicts found the commander of the Yozgat police and the Yozgat lieutenant governor guilty of crimes against humanity.
And how did the British take responsibility for the task of finding guilty parties?
As Turks began being released, the British decided to take custody of the most prominent prisoners and wanted to conduct their own trials. However, they did not have the political will to prosecute. In August 1921, nationalists took a group of British hostages and demanded the release of all Turkish prisoners. All remaining Turks in custody were subsequently freed.
Thank you for your time, Patrick. We go now to local experts on the effects of the genocide, Andrew Long and Anirudh Hari. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Ben. The surrender of the Ottomans in 1918 officially ended the persecution of Armenians, but did not deliver justice to those who carried out the acts of murder. Many Turks fled to Germany seeking refuge from their accusations, but a group of Armenian nationalists called Operation Nemesis attempted to hunt them down. The Turkish government has denied the genocide ever since, calling the mass killing of 1.5 million native Armenians a necessary act of war. It is still illegal today to talk about the Armenian genocide in Turkey.
Thank you, Andrew. We now go to a special report on the long-term effects of the genocide involving international relations by our own Anirudh Hari. He's on the phones. Anirudh?
Turkish writer Orhan Pamuk was sued and pressured to leave Turkey for making the following statement about the Armenian genocide. 30,000 Kurds have been killed here, and 1 million Armenians. And almost nobody dares to mention that, so I do. However, 26 countries do recognize the Armenian genocide, and of these, 6 of them have actually criminalized its denial. Whenever a nation acknowledges the genocide, Turkey retaliates by recalling its ambassador. This has happened in France and the Vatican. While Turkey and Azerbaijan are the only countries that actively deny the mass killing of Armenians, other countries such as the US and other Western allies of Turkey simply turn a blind eye for political advantage.
Thank you, Anirudh. This concludes our special presentation on the Armenian genocide. This has been a BBC production. Thank you.